Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHONJ, Melissa Gorga ready to say goodbye. Is Melissa Gorga ready to say goodbye to RHONJ after 11 seasons? There is no clear idea as to what is going to happen with the franchise moving forward, and the cast is well aware of that fact. Yet some have become more comfortable with the idea of them not returning to the series. Has Melissa hinted at that in a social media post? Keep reading for more details. Melissa Gorga joined RHONJ in Season 3, and it was quite the twist. Her husband, Joe Gorga, is the brother of OG, Teresa Giudice, thus she is the sister-in-law. Yet they have had a very tumultuous and up-and-down relationship for years. That has been the core of the show and how the Giudices and Gorgas have navigated working together. Eventually, things became so horrific that they could not even film together. Teresa divorced her first husband, Joe Giudice, and went on to marry Luis Ruiz, who rubbed many people the wrong way. Melissa and Joe did not attend their wedding, and Season 14 was awful for the cast. They were extremely divided, and that made both Bravo and Andy Cohen see the show could not go on in such a manner. It did not even have a reunion, but rather an alternate reunion. Two-season cast member Rachel Fuda joked that she was unemployed, which led fans to believe that she had been fired. Melissa has been hosting a plethora of meet and greets, which caused some to ask if she had also been fired. Now it seems that she is just fine either way based on a message she sent to fans. According to Reality Tidbit, Melissa Gorga penned something on Instagram back in August. She was speaking directly to her fans and wanted to let them know her thoughts and how she felt. The mother of three explained why she chose to do the show and what has kept her going all of the years. More so, she wanted the fans to know how much they meant to her as the season came to a close. As much as fans appreciated Melissa Gorga's heartfelt message, they did wonder what it all meant. Melissa, you better not be going anywhere. You and Joe are the heart of the show, the only reason my husband and I have watched for so many years. It's going to be a hard decision for Andy because he lives in Teresa's touche and he loves Melissa and Joe. If you are not on it, I'm not watching. They know it will be hard for Bravo if they do not completely reboot the series to decide between Melissa and Teresa. Of course, some followers preferred Teresa over Melissa, and it has always been that way. Melissa has said she is fine with whatever happens. Additionally, she knows that the show has gotten toxic and needs to be better. Melissa Gorga sat in the corner of her expansive living room, sipping from a glass of Pinot Grigio, her thoughts swirling as much as the wine. The sparkling chandelier overhead cast delicate prisms of light across the room, but even its brilliance couldn't chase away the storm brewing in her heart. The decision she'd been avoiding for months was now staring her straight in the face. After more than a decade as one of the mainstays on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, it was time to say goodbye. She exhaled deeply, setting her glass down on the marble coffee table. Melissa had built a life on the RHONJ stage, weaving herself into the very fabric of the show with her fierce style, glamorous parties, and no-nonsense attitude. But the toll of the drama, the endless feuds, and the pressure to perform was no longer something she could ignore. For years, she'd navigated the tightrope between family and fame, maintaining her place in the spotlight while grappling with tensions with her sister-in-law Teresa Giudice, who had cast a looming shadow over much of her RHONJ journey. The cameras had been rolling for years, capturing every tear, every argument, every laugh, but they also captured something else. Her struggle to reconcile her identity as a wife, mother, and businesswoman with her role as a reality TV star. Somewhere along the line, the excitement of being in the limelight began to fade, replaced by a sense of exhaustion that seeped into her bones. She reflected on her time on the show, the roller coaster ride that began when she joined the cast in 2011. At first, it had been exhilarating. The fame, the recognition, the doors it opened for her and her family, it was all a whirlwind of new opportunities. From her boutique envy to her ventures into music and real estate, the RHONJ platform had given her a springboard for success. But there was always a price, and that price was paid in emotional currency. The constant feuds with Teresa, which had long been the crux of their storylines, weighed on her heart. It wasn't just for the cameras. This was real family tension, magnified and exploited for the world to see. Melissa had always hoped for a resolution, a truce that would bring peace to their family, but each season seemed to escalate their rivalry. No matter how hard she tried to rise above the drama, it always found its way back to her, dragging her down like quicksand. Melissa had always been careful with her words on the show, mindful of the impact they could have. But lately, even her careful diplomacy couldn't keep the peace. There had been too many betrayals, too many broken promises, and the cracks in the Gorga-Judas family bond had become impossible to ignore. It was draining her, and she knew it wasn't healthy for her or her family to keep rehashing the same battles year after year. "I just don't want this for us anymore," she whispered to herself, her voice barely above a sigh. It was something she had said to Joe 100 times, but now it felt like a final declaration. Joe, ever the loyal husband, had been her rock through it all. He loved the show as much as she had in the beginning, maybe even more. But he'd noticed the change in her too. Melissa wasn't the same vibrant, carefree woman who had first burst onto the RHONJ scene. She was more guarded now, more weary of the camera's ever-watchful eye. And though Joe enjoyed the perks of their reality stardom, he also saw the toll it had taken on his wife. The show had amplified their love, but it had also tested it. They had faced rumors of infidelity, questions about their marriage's strength, and constant public scrutiny. Melissa had always defended their relationship, standing firm against the gossip, but even the strongest bonds could wear thin under the glare of the spotlight. What's next? She wondered aloud, pushing a strand of dark hair behind her ear. She could envision life after RHONJ, but it was a hazy picture, filled with uncertainty. Her boutique, Envy, was thriving, and she could finally devote her full attention to it without the constant interruptions of filming schedules. She could focus on her family, on Antonia, Gino, and Joey, without worrying about how their lives would play out on national television. She could breathe again without the suffocating pressure to deliver storylines and keep viewers hooked. Melissa knew that saying goodbye to the Real Housewives wouldn't be easy. It was more than just a job. It had been her life for over a decade. The friendships she'd formed with the other women on the cast were complex, filled with both love and animosity. She would miss the camaraderie, the shared experiences of being part of something so unique. But she wouldn't miss the toxicity that often came with it. The betrayal, the backstabbing, the way everything could turn on a dime. She glanced out the window, where the last rays of the setting sun painted the sky with hues of pink and gold. It was a perfect metaphor, she thought, for the end of her journey with RHONJ. The sun was setting on this chapter of her life, but with it came the promise of a new dawn, a chance to reclaim her identity on her terms. As she stood up, Melissa felt a sense of peace wash over her. The decision was made. She was ready to close the door on this chapter of reality TV and open herself up to whatever came next. Maybe it would be more time spent building her business empire, maybe a focus on personal projects, or perhaps even a new TV venture that aligned with who she was now, not who she had been when she first joined RHONJ. Whatever the future held, Melissa Gorga knew one thing for certain: She was ready to walk away, not with bitterness or regret, but with gratitude for the experiences she'd had, the lessons she'd learned, and the person she had become. And so, as she left the living room, her glass of wine untouched, Melissa smiled softly to herself. Goodbye wasn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it was exactly what you needed to move forward.